Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Big Lair with Jack's Private Coffee Corner. You haven't heard from me for a while. Not much has been going on with the market. I think my last update was about 10 days ago. Yeah, not much is going on at all. Prices have gone down a little bit. Lots of cryptos, prices are down, volumes are down. Actually, on some of the coins, their daily trading volume is just up and down like a seesaw. And you can usually check the volume and notice that the volume, if there's a spike, it will follow the price trend of that cryptocurrency. So that's kind of good to know. Today here is December 27th, a couple days after Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Got lots of presents or whatever you wanted. Had time to spend with your relatives and the people you enjoy. Had some Christmas cookies. What'd you guys have? Did you have like turkey or some kind of ham? What do people eat these days for Christmas? I know my family in Wisconsin, we always had wild game. We had deer and elk and let's see, we might have had moose once or twice. We've had bear, different kinds of ducks. You name it, we had it. So we always had really great Christmases. Lots of wild game, lots of food, lots of desserts too. Holy moly, the people in Wisconsin, there's lots of Norwegians and Germans. They know how to make desserts, Christmas cookies like crazy. So that's always fun. I wasn't in Wisconsin for Christmas this year. I'm in Japan. Japan's a whole different ball game when it comes to Christmas because people are not Christian here. I mean, there are some Christians in Japan, but not like, the States or maybe Europe. People do not celebrate Christmas. I mean, the stores, they'd like to see everybody celebrate Christmas and buy more stuff. That's for sure. And they do pump Christmas now as a holiday, as a, hey, you should buy your kids this or that, or you should buy your spouse this or that. So there's some of that going on, but people really don't celebrate Christmas. I was shocked when I came here about 20 some years ago. People thought it was, if you could go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get chicken for Christmas, man, your family was like super wealthy. You were living the high life if you could go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get chicken. And I remember my wife, before we got married, I asked her, what do you want to do for Christmas? And she didn't really have any ideas. And I said, well, how about this one restaurant? And she's like, oh my God, that's expensive. That's, this much per person. I think it was $50 or $100 per person for their special Christmas dinner. And I said, yeah, but it's like a once a year thing. Let's see how it is. And she said, that's more expensive than Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Why would you mention that? Well, then I realized, after I'd lived here a while, that for Japanese people, man, like Kentucky Fried Chicken, there was nothing better than that for Christmas. So, they just don't celebrate Christmas. And what they do celebrate is different than us. They don't have Christmas cookies. They have Christmas cakes, like a sponge cake with a cream frosting, maybe a couple strawberries on top. That's what they're looking at. Christmas cake. Yeah. Although there is a Costco, there is, more than one Costco, but there's a number of Costco stores in Japan now. And the other day I went there, they did have a big tray of Christmas cookies, different kinds. That was pretty awesome. I got that. So Costco is doing it right for the Americans in Japan. Hey, today I just want to talk about two things here. I want to talk about cryptos a little bit, and I want to talk about psychic abilities. Now, as far as cryptos are concerned, I just want to say, hey, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving any financial advice. What I'm saying is just for education and entertainment purposes only. If you hear me say this coin looks good or that coin looks good, it's simply my opinion. And I'm only saying it for entertainment and educational purposes. So I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving anybody financial advice. And you got to take responsibility for yourself and your own life. Don't listen to what I'm saying, okay? Okay. What's going on with the cryptocurrency news? Well, just a few, broad strokes here. What did I see? I've got some news articles that I lined up. Let's see if I can get to them here. Oh, the Bahamas Central Bank, they're going to test launch a digital currency. Isn't that interesting? That's always good. Korea's central bank, they're beefing up their staff of experts to help them research digital cryptocurrencies or digital currencies. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, what was another one that I found here? Oh yeah, the Ethereum co-founder. That dude sold 90,000 Ethereum recently. What's going on with that? Now, people give, who's the Litecoin guy? Charlie Lee. He sold a bunch of his Litecoin at the top and then it dumped, and some people think that was cool. He's just being himself. I thought it was a pretty shady move personally. If you did that with stocks, if you were like the CEO of a company and you did that with stocks, you might get in some trouble. You might be paying some big bucks to the Securities and Exchange Commission. This guy did it. No one seems to think anything. Okay, that's fine. Now the co-founder here sold 90,000 Ethereum. If you go back and do a little research, that guy has also sold a number of Ethereum at various highs in the market. And then after he sold them, things tanked a little bit. So, what can we say? Should we hold these guys to the same standards as they would be held to if they were, in a publicly traded company? Or do we just say, well, cryptocurrencies, it's still the Wild West. People can do what they want. What's the right answer? I don't know. It's up to you to decide, but I think it's quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, let's see here. My page keeps reloading. What's going on? And there was one more thing. Aha, Digibyte, the Digibyte founder, Jared Tate. That guy seems pretty smart, says some interesting things on social media, gets himself in trouble a little bit, but he's announcing a new decentralized stable coin, and they're going to call it, what's the name? Oh yeah, DigiDollar. So looking forward to that. I think he's on the right track with that one. I hope it works for him. I hope it works. Okay, now I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to go over to to my Excel spreadsheet. I've got 18 coins that I follow, and I've got 12 different metrics that I look at daily to tell me what's going on with these coins, which coins would be good to possibly buy, which would be good to sell, stuff like that. And as I said, this is not financial advice at all. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes. Okay, if I look at my chart here, I can see that the price of Veritasium, when I checked this morning, that's when I checked. I put all my numbers in the morning, so it's now about 6 p.m. on the 27th of December, and I put these numbers in this morning around, I believe, 8:30. A little later than usual, but Veritasium was $9 at that time, so it was up 4.9% from the previous day. Now, Veritasium, if you've followed this coin at all for let's say from December 1st, it's had some pretty nice ups and downs. I was following it because I thought if it goes under 15, I should grab some. It went under 15, obviously, and it's been there for a couple of weeks now, right? Several weeks. It's bouncing around between, we'll say, $8 to $10, the $8 to $10 range. If I was someone that had Veritasium, I would be trading the heck out of this thing. Let's see. Let me just go back a couple days here. So today it was $9. What was it yesterday? $8.58. Previous day, $8.73. The 24th, the day before Christmas, was $9.15. So if you had just sold some on the 24th for $9.15, and then you waited till the 26th when it hit $8.58, you'd do okay, right? You'd do okay. You can make a trade out of that. Let's see, it was $9 on the 23rd, $8.80. Ooh, it was $10 on the 20th, $10.55. So I won't go back too far, but I've got data for a couple months now on all these coins. I've been watching Veritasium. It makes some very nice moves on a day-to-day basis. I also look at things like the market cap and trading volume, and I've got a pretty good system for that now. I look at those first. And the market cap and trading volume gives me an indication of where the price is going to go in the next 6 to 8 hours. And I'm starting to understand that and see some interesting trends. You can't always, figure out, okay, let's say there's a huge spike. Let's see, for example, let me switch gears to my next page. Okay, yesterday, the trading volume on Veritasium spiked. It went up 595% from the previous day. Of course, the trading volume of Veritasium as a percentage of its market cap is really low. It's really low. It's not even 1%. It's not even 0.5%. But that huge spike actually moved the price up pretty good, like 40 cents, 50 cents. So that's a lot of trading volume for Veritasium, but in dollar terms, it's nothing. It's like $13,000. And then previously on Christmas Day, oh my God, the trading volume on Veritasium was $1,897. That's nothing, right? I mean, that's what, maybe a couple nights in a really nice hotel. You could have handled the trading volume on Veritasium there, right? So that's, super low percent of its market cap, but even those big amounts, and we see that sometimes with Veritasium, it'll be a huge spike, 100% spike, several 100% spike on the trading volume, and then you can watch the price move a little bit. And that's interesting because it's such, it's not even 1% of the market cap, but that's enough to move the price. Now, if we look at a coin like Litecoin, okay, Litecoin, when was it? About a week ago, several days ago. Let me just shoot back here. We had some tremendous trading volume on Litecoin here. When was it? Let's see, was that last week? Yeah, last week. Okay, so the 18th. Sort of been a week ago, Wednesday, I think, the 18th, right? On the 18th, so the market cap of Litecoin back on the 18th was $2,331,506,000 and change, right? But the daily trading volume was $2,726,530,000 and change. So the trading volume on that day as a percentage of market cap was 116.94%. So there was more. Just think of that, the trading volume, the percent was higher than 100%. So the amount of Litecoin being traded back and forth equaled more than the whole market cap of Litecoin. And the following day was pretty similar. The following day on the 19th was at right around, 100% of its market cap. But it didn't move the price that much. The price moved a few dollars. And as a percent, it was just, and even on that day, the 19th, the trading volume was down. It was down 7% from that previous day's high, but it didn't have a really huge effect on it. So just think of that. Litecoin can be trading at 100% of its market cap, and the price won't swing so much. But then you have a coin like Veritasium, the market cap, the trading volume as a percent of market cap, it's not even 0.5%, and yet the price is moving a fair amount. Of course, Veritasium is cheaper than Litecoin, but if we look at percentages, it's really interesting when you understand that, the average volume, the average daily trading volume is about this amount for this coin, and if you get a certain percent above that, it starts to swing the price pretty good. However, a coin like Litecoin, which has obviously it has high volume, high liquidity, very easy to get into and out of, much different than Veritasium, which has very low volume. But it's interesting to see that once you understand those average daily trading volumes, then you can see, oh wow, this today's trading volume has really gone over the average, and I'll bet it's going to swing the price this way or that way. So that's pretty interesting to look at. Okay, not much is going on in the market actually. Bitcoin hasn't done much. It's hanging around 7,000 to 7,200 as far as my data when I pull prices out and put them into my spreadsheet here. The market cap was down for a long time. Finally, just the last couple days, Bitcoin has gotten back up around 130 billion. Right, it was down there under 130 billion for a while. Let's see, on the 22nd, it hit 130 billion again. On the 23rd, it jumped up to 137 billion. The 24th, back down to 131. Christmas Day, 130. And then yesterday at 131. So there are some pretty big moves in Bitcoin, dollar-wise, but percentage-wise, it's not a lot. Like yesterday, when I last grabbed the figures on trading volume, Bitcoin was only the trading volume as a percent of its market cap was only 9%. Only 9%. And then you have a coin like Bitcoin Cash. It's much higher volume. It's 26%. Well, Christmas Day, it was 41%. 41%. The trading volume was 41% of its market cap. Today it's dropped down to 26.73%. So to me, that sort of stuff is very interesting, because when you start to look at all of these things like I am, you start to notice patterns and say, oh, probably this coin's going to go that way or that coin's going to go that way. And then let's see. Another thing, if I had to choose between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, what would I choose today? Well, the answer is pretty cut and dried for me, pretty easy, a no-brainer. I would pick Bitcoin Cash. And maybe not for the reasons that other people would. People talk about, you get into the issue of, what's the real Bitcoin and is it being manipulated? And people might say, well, this person or that person has weighed in their opinion, some psychic or something, and they think this coin is going to be better for this reason or that reason. If I take all of that stuff out of the equation and I just look at one thing, if I just look at what percent do both of these coins have to increase to reach their previous all-time high? Just look at that, right? What percent would both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash have to go to reach their previous all-time high? Well, as of today, Bitcoin would have to go up 177.78% to reach its previous all-time high, okay? So we'll just call it 178%, right? We'll round up a little bit. 178%, if it increased, it'd be back to its previous all-time high. Well, how about Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Cash is a different story. Bitcoin Cash, if it went up to its previous all-time high, it would have to go up 2,221%. 2,221%. I don't know about you, but if I put $1 in and I had to choose, do I want to get 177 or 178% back, or do I want to get 2,221% back? Obviously, you're going to go with the 2,221%, right? It's a no-brainer. So for that reason alone, if I didn't know anything about these coins, nothing about the projects, not about the, who's using it, what are the use cases, what does the future look like, transaction speeds, transaction costs, forget all of that stuff, right? If I just looked at this, what percent would it have to go up to hit its all-time high? I'm going to choose Bitcoin Cash, right? Because you're going to get way more bang for your buck, so to speak. So that's something you got to look at. Okay, let's see. For months now, more than 6 months, I've been talking about my three buddies, my three amigos, Neo, Tezos, and OMG. Neo, Tezos, and OMG. In the past, Neo and OMG were very, very good to me. Very, very good to me. These have been great coins to trade. However, recently I don't want to say I have forgotten about them, but I'm just not interested in trading them right now. I am interested in Tezos. I am interested in Tezos. And, if you were someone who got Tezos around $1 or cheaper, that was awesome. If you have been, taking advantage of that cheap buy-in price, this month has been a great month for you, because Tezos went up to $1.72 as far as my chart's concerned. I put in all my own numbers. So maybe somewhere Tezos was a little higher than $1.72, but for me $1.72 was the high. And my buy price was around $1. And then I had two price targets get hit. So as Tezos was going up, boom, and hit my first target, I unloaded some of it. Boom, and hit my second target, I unloaded some of it, put them into stable coins. And, some people were saying, oh, Tezos might go over $2. Hey, great. If it goes over $2, I'm happy. I'll sell some more. But I don't think it's going to. Maybe. It's down to, what's the price here? 137. It was at 137 when I checked this morning. I'm not sure what it is now, because I don't really look at the markets that much during the day. But it's close. So it went up. One target, boom. Second target, boom. I think my second target was it around $1.60 something? I can't quite remember. I have these targets. I have a plan. I work out my plan and all the percentages, and then I kind of forget about it. And then when it hits that target, boom, I know, and I sell. I don't get greedy. I don't wait for it to go higher. I did that in the past a couple of times, and then I lost a chance to sell at a high price, and the price went back down. It's like, oh, okay, 2 times. Hopefully I learned my lesson, and now I don't do that. Now when it hits the target price, I don't care if everyone in the world is telling me, hey, Tezos now is $1.80. It's going to go to $3. Even if everyone around me said that, I would say $1.80 is my sell price. I don't care. Boom, I would sell it. So, you got a plan, you got to work your plan. Just work your plan. That's all you have to do. It's very easy. So now Tezos is going down. I'm super happy. In fact, if Tezos goes up, keeps going up, I'd be happy. Why? Because I'm going to sell some of it and make a profit. But when it goes down, I'm even happier. That's the interesting thing about my plan, is I'm happy when prices go up, and I'm happy when prices go down. I'm actually a little happier when prices go down. Why? Because then I know I'm going to buy back my Tezos for the same amount of money, but I'm going to get more. I'm going to get more. I had a video I put out, I think it was the end of September, beginning of October maybe, and I highlighted some of the trades I had made, just a couple of the trades I had made. I had doubled my NEO over from July to September. I doubled my NEO, and I increased my OMG 91%. Okay, and I wasn't doing that to be egotistical or to rub it in anyone's face and say, hey, look what I did, I did this and you didn't. No, it wasn't that at all. It was to show people that, hey, if you have this, a very simple plan in place for strategic investing like I do, anyone can do this. You can do this. Of course, it takes patience. You're just waiting. You have your plan, you have your coins, you have your target prices, and then you just wait. So it's a waiting game. That's why it took, 2 months for this thing to happen. But, 2 months time, wow, I doubled my NEO. OMG, I'm up 91%. And the beautiful thing about that is my buy-in price, my average, buy-in price for NEO dropped in half. That's one of the beautiful things about it. It dropped in half. So my buy-in price on NEO is so low now, I could sell everything, even though NEO is really down in my opinion. The price is down. If I sold today, I would still have a very nice profit. Why? Because I was able to trade my way to double my NEO, which made my buy-in, my average buy-in price drop in half. And I'm working on the same thing with Tezos right now, doing with Tezos. I've sold at 2 different target prices. And if it comes down a little bit more, I am so happy because I'm getting more Tezos for the same money. And one thing I completely forgot about with my trades from July to September was that besides, the NEO and OMG increase, I actually had some stable coin sitting off on an exchange that I'd forgotten about. I'd forgotten about it, and I used that to buy a third cryptocurrency that I'd wanted to buy but didn't have, because my new rule is I don't put any more money into the crypto market. I'm done putting money into the crypto market. I'm going to trade my way up. So that was awesome. I realized that. I'm like, oh man, I was happy with just the NEO and OMG increasing, but I've got what? I've got stable coins sitting here. Well, I'm going to buy this other coin that I've wanted to buy for a while but didn't. So that was just like icing on the cake. So that new coin, whatever happens to it, I don't care. Didn't cost me anything. That's like free money, so to speak, right? Okay. So enough of that. I just thought I would mention NEO, Tezos, and OMG, my three buddies, the three amigos. And NEO and OMG have been very good to me. OMG, 61 cents. Oh my God, that's a sweet price. That is a sweet price right now. If you didn't have any and you wanted some, it looks good. Although, prices could get lower. And don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm just talking out of my ass here, kind of, right? I'm just giving you my opinion. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes, right? I'm not, I'm not giving advice. But OMG looks pretty sweet. Could go lower. All of these could go lower. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. And even if you had a crystal ball, would it work? I don't think it would, because there's lots of manipulation in the crypto market. That's just a fact of life, right? Lots of manipulation. So that may be one of the reasons people are unable to give accurate price predictions for these coins. There's all of this manipulation, right? So how can you guess that? That's a pretty tough thing to guess. So what you need is a plan, and then you just work your plan, and you don't care if there's manipulation or not, because if things go up, you sell when it hits your target price. If it goes down, you buy back, right? And someone out there might say, well, what if you sell and then the price keeps going up and up and up and up and you have no chance to buy it back? Well, with my plan, you've got two other options. You've got two other options if that happens, and I won't go into what that is, but you have two other options. That's not even an issue, right? Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. A little bit of update on cryptos, what's happening. The second thing I want to talk about is psychic abilities. Psychic abilities. Now, this is a very interesting topic. I think a lot of people, probably if you're watching my video here, you're interested in psychic abilities to some extent. Maybe you understand that you have some psychic abilities, or you have the potential to develop some sort of psychic abilities, but for whatever reason you haven't. There's a lot of people, on YouTube and other places who talk about, this is how you develop your psychic abilities, or this is what you do. But in my opinion, it's just all fluff. It's all fluff, unfortunately. And I can understand why. In a way, I understand why. Because if someone told you, actual techniques or exercises that you could use to actually, develop psychic abilities, you may become competition for that person. So I understand why people give very vague, generalized advice on developing psychic abilities, is because possibly they don't want competition. Another reason is they don't know. They don't know what to do to develop your psychic abilities, and so they give you this generalized explanation. And they make it vague enough to where, they can easily, how can I say it? They can easily get out of the conversation if they have to, right? Because they really don't know what you should be doing, but they feel responsible, or they feel like they have to tell you something, and so they just give you this fluff answer. And that's usually how it works in life, right? When someone tells you something, and you think, what the heck was that? That's not what I asked. Or kind of a crazy answer. There's only two reasons. The person doesn't want you to know the answer, or they don't know the answer themselves, right? Those are the only two options. There's no other options in that situation. So anyway, that's something I've thought about a lot. Even I've looked for people who could possibly help me in my psychic journey. I haven't found anyone. But interestingly enough, a number of years ago, I was in contact with this very, very famous psychic. I won't say his name. How famous was this guy? Well, he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show numerous times. He was a celebrity psychic. I mean, celebrities came to him. This guy, the money he was making was unbelievable. And, I was aware of who he was a psychic for. He helped people in business. Maybe you would say he was a psychic to some of the elites. Maybe you could say that. Just because I know some of the people this guy did readings for, I would say, yeah, those are elites. Anyway, long story short, he fell out of grace with a number of these people because, he actually had a conscience. He was very moral person, and he realized what was going on. He was good enough to where if he did a reading for you, he knew all the stuff you did, all the bad stuff too, right? And a good psychic will never discuss that kind of stuff, but this guy was probably seeing, Epstein type stuff, that was going on, other things. I know some of the other things. I'll never talk about them, though this guy mentioned them to me to make me aware, but I'll never talk about them, And if I think about those things in comparison to like what Epstein was doing, Epstein was like a preschool kid, in comparison to some of this other stuff. And I won't get into that other stuff. Anyway, this guy was selling his library of books. He had a very amazing library of books. And I put in a bid. I was able to purchase about 2/3 of the library. 2/3 of the library, all kinds of books on the occult, psychic abilities, all this stuff. Some of the books are very old, very rare. And so over the years, I've been reading these books, and I don't know why, but these books had all of the answers I was looking for. I don't know why I continued looking for people or having readings with people, because all of the answers I needed were in these books. And so recently, during a meditation, at the very end of my meditation, one of my spirit guides said, why do you keep looking for someone to help you? You have everything you need. You have the books sitting right there. The books you need are right there. You have them. What are you doing? And, I finished my meditation. And sometimes during my meditations, I do astral travel. And so it was very clear to me what they were saying and what they were talking about. And so I walked over to my bookshelf and here's the books. I better read these again. So I started reading two of the books, and I thought to myself, oh my God, some of these things are very practical. Anyone can do these things. Like I can tell you, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. And if you've done this correctly, the result should be this, right? So there are a number of exercises, I'll call them exercises, that I could tell you to help you develop your psychic abilities. And they all sort of, it's like a set of stairs. You do this one first, and then once, this first one, you've got it down, you move to the next exercise, and you move to the next exercise, and the next exercise. And then you slowly start developing your psychic abilities. So I was thinking, well, this is great. This is great for me. It'll help me on my journey. But what about all of the other people like myself? And I know there's a lot of people out there because I've been in contact with you in different groups. And what about those people? Those people, they really could use this information too. So I thought, okay, I'll take the time. I'll read through these books. And I already have, certain exercises that I know work. And I'm going to put them into I'm going to call it, on my Patreon page, I have this thing called the Crypto Beginner Library. It's 7 videos. They're kind of long. Each one's kind of long, 40, 50 minutes maybe, I think. Goes through everything you would need to know if you want to get into cryptocurrencies, buying and selling and holding cryptocurrencies, in a safe and secure, intelligent manner. And it goes through everything, absolutely everything, how to get a wallet, how to get on exchanges, security, all the security things you have to think about, some theory about investing. I give ideas on how to develop a plan for hodling, how to develop an exit strategy to actually, tailor an exit strategy to your situation, stuff like that. So that's the Crypto Beginner Library. So I'm going to make the Psychic Beginners Library. And I don't know how many videos this will be. I don't, because I have all of these books, all of these techniques, all of this knowledge, and I want to share these exercises with people. So, and I'm going to start that from next month. I'm still working on the very first lesson. And as I said, these are practical, anyone can do exercises. You don't have to go and see a guru somewhere. You don't have to buy anything. You just have yourself, watch the video and follow the instructions, and you're on your way, basically, right? So I'm going to create this series of videos. Like I said, I don't know how many it will be. If you want to see these videos, jump over to Patreon. My channel is Jack's Private Coffee Corner. My lowest tier is $20 a month. I think it's called the Black Coffee tier. I'm going to make all of these videos available even to the lowest tier, the Black Coffee tier, because I think everybody should have access to this. So if you're interested, wait until the first of the month or whatever, and go over to Jack's Private Coffee Corner, join up, and then you'll get access to all of the Crypto Beginner Library stuff too. And I've got some other woo-woo and coffee talk things that are not on YouTube, quite a bit actually. So anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know, if you've searched as long as I have to find practical exercises that you can do to develop your psychic abilities, those will be available on my Patreon channel. And one of the really interesting things about this is, let's say you come to my channel, and there's 2 of us, right? There's me and you, and you're doing the exercises and I'm doing the exercises, and we're having success, and we notice, oh, this ability is getting a little stronger and that ability is getting a little bit stronger. And then we chat about it a little bit. And the interesting thing is by us doing this, we're helping each other. If you're in a situation where there's only one person, like one person who has developed much more than everyone else, that person there's the chance that person could be kind of feeding off your energy. That one person could be feeding off of your energy, so it's all good for that person, but for you, nothing's changing. So that's not a situation I want to create. I want to create a situation where everyone is doing these exercises, you're raising yourself up, and then we're doing it together. We're working together. Now, if this sort of thing is done correctly, if there's one person in the group higher, that person's ability will slide down to the lower person to help raise that person up. Now, and this is something I've heard from psychics over the years. When I was growing up in Wisconsin, it was sort of, I don't know, the Bronze Age of psychics. In my opinion, my grandfather, his age was the Golden Age. There were tremendous psychics that used to come to Wisconsin. There was a psychic camp that went on every summer, and the stuff they did was just out of this world. I won't go into it now. It would just take too long to talk about. And then the next group of people was like the Silver Age. They weren't quite as developed as my grandfather's time, but there are still a lot of good people there. And now it's come to us. And I think one of the reasons is because the the teachings, the exercises, and the techniques that my grandfather and them learned have not been taught. People have forgotten about us. So I want to bring that back. I want to, create this new golden age of psychics, people with very, very high abilities. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please jump over to Patreon. It's just $20 a month for the lowest tier. And I should have the first video out by next month, January. Okay, everybody, I hope this video was interesting. I hope it was helpful in some way. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. If you liked it, please smash up the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Okay, you guys, today is December 22nd. We're not so far off from New Year's. I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year's. Spend time with the people you love. Eat some good food. Have some good times. And let's look forward to a very prosperous 2020. Take care.